Yeah, so this is the argument that Ford has been making this whole time. You know, ever since they said basically, the hell with the cars. You know, we want to focus on the trucks and SUVs. So, you know, that's fine. That's fine, but you got to deliver, right? You got to deliver, and they have. And not only does everything look great, but there's a lot of innovations here as well on the interiors. We'll talk about that stuff here later. In fact, I think they might have almost done too good of a job on this Expedition, because I think it looks better kind of inside and out than the Navigator. So let me know let me know what you guys think of that. And on the front here, it's dominated by this new LED running light, signature light, that basically wraps all the way around the front end. And what enables this design to actually just look good and not like overwhelming is the fact that the actual headlights are very small, for one, and they're kind of tucked in the corners here, but they also mimic the design of the grille. So they almost kind of blend in more with the grille. As you see, the little cutouts, the design of kind of the mesh that runs in the grille, is that same shape. You know, it's the same shape as the headlights. So yeah, it just kind of, it's a nice clean look. And of course, this is all topped off with the, you know, Range Rover-esque script across the top of the hood. And there's a new Tremor edition as well, which actually, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense because a lot of people, they want to take, you know, you're buying an SUV. You're not buying a minivan for a reason, right? You want to take those places. Maybe you want to take it down your favorite trail, and now you can bring your whole family with you. So this is, yeah, it's a great idea. And it's interesting too how they've changed up the front end a little bit here. So we still get the LED running lights that run by the headlight area, but instead of having that, you know, having the one that goes all the way across, instead what they've done is you get these auxiliary lights now that are built into the grille. So, and that's what they call them, auxiliary lights. So it's just kind of a cool little detail, and it's also going to distinguish, especially at night. You know, you're going to be able to distinguish the Tremor from the other models. And of course, you know, being a Tremor, you know, what does it get? Yeah, it gets all the upgrades that you need to, to go off-road, basically. Starting with, yeah, how about 33-inch all-terrain tires? You know, of course, that's the obvious thing. But guess what? They've added a lot of Raptor-inspired parts on here, especially underneath, like the skid plate and all the underbody protection. There's underbody protection from the front to the rear, you know, including the fuel tank, all that stuff. And it gets these unique side steps. It's kind of got like that truck bed coating on it as well. And just a, yeah, really cool design here. You know, the perfect thing to kind of top off a more rugged version. But of course, not everybody wants that look. You know, maybe you want, I don't know, this thing looks so clean, so classy, you know, for just a regular Expedition. I mean, of course, this is the Platinum model, but still, you know, there's no, check this out, there's no like fender flare treatment. There's no added plastic, and just very clean lines. You know, this is, actually, this reminds me more of like an Escalade or something like that. Almost even more so than the new Navigator. And I think this new tailgate section that's blacked out, I think really adds to that. Kind of that upscale luxury look, especially since, you know, you have all of the window tint and all the pillars are blacked out. It kind of just, yeah, it kind of just continues that into the rear of the vehicle. And this shape, by the way, too, you know, it's the same shape as the front grille. So that's kind of a nice detail as well, that it matches. And at the same time, on the Tremor, you know, this blacked out tailgate, it actually kind of gives it more of a rugged look as well. So it seems to kind of suit, it kind of has like a dual purpose, dual personality. Well, actually, hey, actually it does have a dual purpose, because guess what? It's actually a split tailgate now as well. So it's not just about style. You can see you can flip up the main part of the tailgate, yes. But then down here, the lower part actually stays closed. It stays fixed, you know, unless you want to open it, of course. Now, the only thing I'm not too crazy about as far as the design on the back here is these little accent lights. Like, I don't know what's going on with this. It's like they kind of just threw them on there. It's almost like they were studying the Tahoe a little too much, you know? You want to study the competition, sure, but you don't want to copy it. And it's that same kind of design, isn't it? It's just that Tahoe has like a chrome piece there. But at least it is cohesive with the taillight. In fact, you might not have even noticed this, but there's these reflectors on the side of the taillight here. You know, these don't light up. They're just reflectors, and you don't really notice them because the taillight is kind of tinted there. But you can see that it actually lines up with this little piece on the tailgate. The only thing is, why does it stop short? You know what I mean? Like why does it stop short? Why does it stop so far from the taillight? So yeah, I threw this in the Photoshop just to kind of see if we could match the gap. You know, the gap there and the gap there. Wouldn't it look? It would look better, wouldn't it? Let me know. And by the way, just, you know, one last little detail on the exterior here before we get to the inside. You can get 24-inch wheels on this thing. Although I wouldn't really recommend it, because think about it. You're gonna have to like take money out of your retirement to buy new tires for this thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, the exterior looks great. The inside, it's kind of the same story. It's the same story, really. So, and they've made it, actually, it's almost identical to the Navigator. The only difference is you get like half, you get like half the screen. So there's a 24-inch screen, you know, this thing here, driver display, that's up at the top of the dashboard. This is kind of a cool design, isn't it? Because it's basically like a combination between a HUD and a traditional gauge cluster. And you're going to be able to see everything there, and it's not going to be as distracting, right? Because you're going to be able to see the road. The only thing is, you know, the Navigator, it gets two of these screens. So actually, the Navigator is 48 inches, so two 24-inch screens. And yes, it is two screens. There's like a split where they connect. So that's kind of the only downside is when you look at this, it kind of looks like something is missing. You know, like there should be, it should go all the way to over here, right? So, and they do say that this area, this blank area is supposed to be like a speaker, you know, like this. It's got that like speaker cover material to it, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of having a ton of screens. So I don't think you're going to feel like you're really missing out, you know, from the Lincoln, especially since you get all of these nice details. You know, this is a level of interior that we've never seen before in an Expedition. I mean, look at this. Look at these knobs. The knurled finish around the side of them. And then, of course, you get like this wood trim. And just, yeah, that nice Expedition stamped right into the center. And this is, yeah, there's some nice ambient lighting that runs around, all around the whole dash, basically. Now, this is the real exciting part, because there's a lot of innovations here that Ford has made. Stuff that seems obvious. Like, why didn't anybody think of this sooner? So, number one is, all the way in the third row here, yeah, back here, guess what? You want to have two people sitting back there, yes. But what if you want to still carry some long cargo items? Well, guess what? That's actually a 40-20-40 split seat now, the third row. So imagine this. You can have 6 people sitting in this thing comfortably and still have like long items coming all the way up to the front. And the kids aren't left out here either with the innovations. Check this out. This seems more than obvious, doesn't it? Instead of having like some kind of rear entertainment system that you got to like try to connect to. No, it's like, you know, your kids probably have a phone or a tablet that they like already. So why not just have a clamp? This is a fully adjustable clamp system on the back of both front headrests. You know, you can fit, they're saying, you know, all the way from a smartphone to like a good sized tablet. You can clamp it right there. And then it's like problem solved.